to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Hello, what's up? It's your girl here, MJ's Nia. Welcome to the channel. So yes, it's a lot to discuss. We're going to be discussing about deportation. They are now raiding homes as we speak to deport illegal immigrants. We're going to talk about how the celebrities went and performed for Donald Trump, inauguration, and for the crypto ball. And we're also going to talk about Sexy Red and somebody else, I can't remember who the person was, that disrespected MLK, disrespected MLK on Martin Luther King Day, okay? So we're going to get into it, y'all. So first thing first is I also want to talk about the DEI. It says what to know about the Equal Employment Opportunity Executive Order Trump revoked. So I'm going to discuss this a little bit. So Trump executive order targeting DEI practices undid a whole host of previous orders that sought to prohibit discrimination in the workplace. Among the landmark pieces of legislation were anti-discrimination rules enacted by President Lyndon Johnson in the Civil Rights era. What is the Equal Employment Opportunity Act? Signed by Johnson in 1965, Executive Order 11246 mandate government contractors to give equal opportunity to people of color and women in recruitment, hiring, training, and other employment practices. So basically this is discriminating against, religion, race, color, all of that good jazz, right? So all that is getting taken out of the jobs. I will say this, that Walmart was already, I don't know if y'all know, was already getting rid of their DIs. There were some companies already getting rid of the DEI because they knew that Trump was going to get rid of this. But there is some that is going to, keep, even though the DEI is going to be gone, some companies are going to, still going to respect other people and their nationalities and their race and everything like that. So let me read what Target says. So Target is reducing its efforts and programs that focus on promoting diversity, fairness, inclusion within the company. Many years of data, insights, listening, and learning have been shaping this next chapter in, I don't know what it says, out strategy. And as a realtor that serves millions of consumers every day, we understand the importance of staying in step with the evolving external landscape now in the future. So it sounds like Target is up with it too. So you guys need to be aware that some of these stores that you're working at, you need to be making sure that you guys know what's going on with the DEI, because that is no longer in effect anymore. Okay, that bill has been revoked. I just read it to you guys. So they can discriminate against you, say whatever they want, fire you at any time they want. And this is not just for black people. This goes for Latino, Asian people, the LGBTQ, anybody. Also anybody who is a white liberal. You guys too as well. They can discriminate against you, against your religion. So this is very important. Now Costco did had something to say about this, but I'm gonna read this person. This person down here. It says Tiffany Carpenter. While I'm beyond heartbroken to see so many companies double down on DEI programs under Trump's second term, I am extremely glad to see companies like Costco, Target, and Apple still pushing for these programs to exist. Our commitment to an enterprise rooted in respect and inclusion is appropriate and necessary. I don't know. She said Target, but did I misunderstood that last post? Let me go back, because it sounds like Target is for getting rid of the DEI. Yeah, it says Target is reducing its efforts. That's what I heard. So, but anyway, this is Sipping with TT. Be sure to go check her out. I'll be using her stuff on here. Hopefully I boost her name up. I really do like this blogger. She's on Instagram. She keeps you posted with everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, anything that's going on in the mass media, social media. She puts it on here. So yeah, shout out to her. Now I'm gonna start playing some deportations videos. They are now currently raiding I might just do some 3 here. There's a man that's going viral. It's a Haitian man. I'll find him if I can, and I'll put him in there. Hopefully he's already in one of these videos, but they are out here raiding homes, just to let you guys know that.
Deportation flights are already underway. The White House posted this image to its X account showing people loading onto a plane. Madeline Rivera has the latest on the president's deportation plans.
Migrant deportation flights are underway. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt posting these photos of migrants boarding planes, writing in part, quote, "The administration deported hundreds of illegal immigrant criminals via military aircraft." According to Border Patrol sources, each plane carries 80 people. This first flight took off from Biggs Army Airfield in El Paso, Texas, headed for Guatemala.
They allowed people to come in at levels that nobody's ever seen before. It was really an invasion. We will not allow our territory to be violated after 4 long years.
ICE reports that in the last 24 hours, there have been more than 500 arrests focused on migrants with a known criminal history. Less than a week into his second term, President Trump launched this mass deportation effort with federal agents active in multiple states across the U.S.
We're going to get them all out of here and restore safety and security to our cities. That's what the voters expressed on November 5th.
Meanwhile, fear is ramping up in sanctuary cities as ICE agents are now allowed to conduct arrests inside schools, hospitals, and churches, all previously considered safe spaces for migrants.
We will continue to do the work that we do to help people legalize their status, and we won't be intimidated by these policies.
The U.S. border has seen a drop in migrant encounters since Trump took office, down 35% from the final days of the Biden administration. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox 32 Chicago.
The city of Waukegan is posting to its social media site saying it will adhere to federal law enforcement on immigration and will not intervene. It's a part of the Illinois Trust Act, it says. That's legislation is aiming to stop the participation of local law enforcement in federal immigration issues. The city says its main objective is to secure and maintain the well-being of its community. We did reach out to the Lake County Sheriff's Office, and the deputy chief gave us this statement saying, "We are doing what everyone else is doing following state law. The Illinois Trust Act outlines that Illinois law enforcement cannot enforce federal immigration laws. We also cannot obstruct the federal government from performing its enforcement efforts." Paris has been monitoring the issue across the state. And Paris, you're joining us now. You just had a conversation with some local people. What are they saying about this?
Well, you know, Sylvia, know your rights. Like you said previously, like the governor said, that is the message coming from state officials and immigrant rights groups. But there is a chill right now in the immigrant community. Stakeholders told me folks are staying home from places like school, church, and even going out to restaurants. So in addition, what do business owners do? Should they comply with ICE if an agent shows up at their door? I talked to 3 stakeholders just a little bit ago. The executive director of the National Immigrant Justice Center told me she believes the raids are actually hurting public safety, relaying a personal story to me.
I got a call last night from someone who had a fender bender and she was afraid to come out of her car. I said, it's okay. You can come out of the car. The Chicago police are not going to question you about your immigration status. If they do, just say under the Welcoming City Ordinance and Illinois Trust Act, I do not have to provide you with that information. But let's get this fender bender resolved. And that makes our community safer because people feel comfortable going to the police to report a crime, or a victim of domestic violence will go to the police to report the abuser because she knows that she is not going to be subjected to immigration enforcement.
And so you'll hear a lot more about the immigration process on my show, Paris on Politics. That's tonight at 9:30 p.m. right here on Fox 32 News. Sylvia, we heard from a leader in the restaurant industry who talked about employees that are in danger right now and folks not coming out to restaurants. And we also talked to the head of the Chicago Republican Party saying it's just about the criminals. That's what this is targeting. Mary Meg McCarthy, who you just heard from the National Immigrant Justice Center, saying she doesn't believe that. She believes they want to cast a wider net, and that's the fear in the community right now.
Okay.
Mucha migra y todos están cayendo. No les recomiendo cruzar porque hay un chingo de
Repel, repatriate, and remove. US President Donald Trump is intensifying his mass deportation efforts, removing migrants from American soil. Nearly 538 illegal immigrants were arrested by enforcement officers and hundreds more were deported. The largest deportation operation in US history is now underway in the United States. Just 3 days into his presidency, Trump has begun hunting down immigrants mercilessly.
Exhorto al gobierno que debería ponerse la mano en el corazón, como quien dice, y saber todos los sacrificios que hemos hecho para poder llegar hasta aquí y que colaboren con nosotros en darnos trabajo, pues, que es lo que estamos pidiendo, algo honradamente, porque tenemos niños, tenemos familias grandes y la idea es seguir trabajando, pues, luchando y que nos ayuden con nuestros papeles de estadía aquí, que es lo importante, pues, porque ya que no se puede pasar para allá, me imagino que uno puede seguir la vida aquí, porque México, a pesar de todo, es un buen país.
I, Donald John Trump.
During his election campaign, Trump promised to drive out illegal immigrants who he claimed posed a threat to Americans.
I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
As president, he declared a national emergency at the US-Mexico border, which had significant consequences for migrants. By declaring the emergency, Trump unlocked crucial federal funding to support his aggressive border crackdown. Protesters criticized the sweeping executive orders announced during his inauguration speech, which included plans to expand US territory and curb immigration. Trump deployed 1,500 additional troops to the border and granted them the authority to assist with deportation flights and construct a physical barrier along the border. As part of his immigration agenda, he also proposed sending 10,000 more troops to secure the border. The increasing military presence at the border has raised safety concerns for the immigrants living there. Meanwhile, Texas Governor Greg Abbott launched Operation Lone Star, aimed at halting migrants from reaching the U.S. via waterways.
This is a good bill. It's a common sense law enforcement bill. Simply states, minor level crime now, local law enforcement can contact ICE to get these people detained, processed, and deported. These people, these criminals that come across that inflict violence on American families, they just get more and more emboldened.
Within 33 hours of Trump taking the oath of office, Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrested more than 460 illegal immigrants. These individuals had criminal histories including charges of sexual assault, burglary, drug offenses, weapon offenses, resisting arrest, and domestic violence. Fearing for their lives and wanting to avoid arrest, migrants are now choosing increasingly risky ways to enter the US. Many are willing to pay smugglers all their savings in exchange for a way to cross the border. Families are taking dangerous routes, putting the lives of infants and children at risk to enter the country. With the birthright citizenship ban set to take effect on February 19th, children born to immigrants will no longer be eligible for US citizenship. Fearing the impact of this law, some immigrants are opting for premature deliveries to ensure their children are born before the law is enforced.
This is the right thing to do. It's a really important moment for the country, and it's always good when the right thing is also the popular thing. And this is what the American people demand and deserve. They want accountability. They want us to address the human catastrophe that has come from the broken, wide-open border that Biden, Harris, Mayorkas, and the team did for the country. And we are so grateful. We have a new commander-in-chief, a new sheriff.
The plight of immigrants trying to cross into the US grows darker by the day. Trump remains firm in his belief that he is doing what's best for his country and his people. Migrants stuck at the border are resisting the return to their poor lifestyles and are fighting against Trump's immigration agenda. The White House claims that Trump is sending a strong and clear message to the entire world with his immigration policies. But is Trump's emergency declaration at the border an abuse of power?
All right, now to more on the breaking news we first brought you at the top of the newscast. The Pentagon will begin deploying as many as 1,500 active duty troops to help secure the southern border in the coming days.
Deportations in cities like New York could start soon. Our Jessica Formoso joins us now. And Jess, you actually sat down with the commissioner of the mayor's office of immigrant affairs. What did they have to say?
Yeah, Natasha, see, that's right, I did. And there's a lot of unknowns. Our local officials can't give us concrete answers as to what could happen in the coming days. Multiple reports say raids will start in Chicago and then New York. What we do know is the mayor is talking to ICE officials about migrants who have committed crimes. The question is, if mass deportations take place in our city, what would it look like, and does the city have a plan?
On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program.
Before he was sworn in, President Donald Trump was vocal about initiating the largest mass deportation in U.S. history. And in his first day in office,
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
while details of how and when are scarce, the commander-in-chief has said he plans to mobilize the U.S. military to enforce the operation, an operation that has many migrants on edge.
No me siento seguro.
I do not feel safe. I do not feel safe. Jason Gonzalez arrived in New York City from Venezuela with his wife and 3 children in October. They've been in the city's care ever since. First placed in Floyd Bennett Field, a makeshift shelter on a national park, which is federal property.
Teníamos mucho temor.
We were very afraid because these are federal lands where we fear that with President Trump's return to the presidency, we could witness raids here. That shelter was closed earlier this month. So what would mass deportations look like across the country?
They're talking about workplace raids, family separations, strict restrictions on new immigrants, and potentially deporting, they say, 11 to 20 million people.
We have more than 16 million people in the United States who don't have full rights to be here.
Musafir Chisti is an attorney and senior fellow and director of the Migration Policy Institute at New York University School of Law. He believes deportations will happen. As to how many people could be deported, that remains to be seen.
I think you have to take the administration on its word that there will be some kind of mass deportation. What mass is, no one knows.
Laws, due process, he says, need to be followed, but the fear is real among the community. Jason worries schools and other sensitive locations may be targets.
Como que adoctrinar a los niños a saber qué van a hacer.
We are training our children to know what to do if something happens. It makes me very afraid that they could pick me up in the streets and never make it back home to my children.
Colocándole toda su documentación en el morral.
We are placing all their documentation in their backpacks, telephone numbers, so that they are prepared.
It's important not to allow panic set in.
Manuel Castro is the commissioner of the mayor's office of immigrant affairs. Over the last 2.5 years, he says, over 220,000 asylum seekers have arrived in New York City. Today, 51,000 remain under the city's care. That's not counting the hundreds of thousands of undocumented immigrants living for years across our city.
Does the city have a plan?
First thing is to make sure that our city staff at all levels is trained on our sanctuary laws and our sanctuary city policies. Now, as city employees, we cannot cooperate with enforcement, but we also cannot interfere with enforcement.
But what will the city do if such plan is carried out?
There is only so much we can do to protect immigrants. The federal government has said they will enforce immigration law whether they receive support from cities or not.
Has the mayor or yourself or anyone in the administration been able to speak to the incoming administration? Have they been able to prepare you for anything?
There's so much that's still unknown.
Mayor Adams, who has met with President Trump, has been vocal about deporting migrants who have committed violent crimes.
People who commit these violent crimes must be addressed. And that is our conversation with ICE.
For now, all Jason and his family can do is be prepared. The first few weeks are going to be very scary for all of us.
Now, I did ask the commissioner if they have a plan in place if families are separated. Will there be a place for them to go to get information? The commissioner told me they are thinking through what that scenario might look like.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yeah, thanks, Jessica.
And I mean, the migrant crisis unfolding minute by minute. This is something, Steph, that you've been covering from the very beginning. Most recently, you were at the northern border. What can you tell us about what people are saying?
Yeah, so it's been a long time. I worked in South Texas, as all of you know, at the southern border for almost 4 years. I watched people cross the border in search of that better life. I saw Border Patrol and ICE taking action at the front lines. In Florida, I covered the complexities of immigration and obviously the migrant crisis here. Given the climate, Jessica and I have been collaborating to really round out the coverage as now we look at what this new administration, Jess, is promising.
That's right. And, you know, in the coming days, we're going to have a lot more stories. Stephanie's going to be looking at sanctuary cities, the laws, how they protect migrants. And, you know, we are now learning that there are some protections in place, not many, though. Also, I was at ICE headquarters this week, a long line out there, also immigration court. So we're going to take a look at the backlog, which we're talking about millions of cases, which is why, you know, there's such a big backlog. So we'll have a lot more in the coming days for you guys.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, thank you so much.
Well, President Trump's illegal immigration crackdown is off to a fast start. Fox News has learned that in a 33-hour period between Tuesday morning and Wednesday night, ICE agents arrested over 460 migrants, many with long criminal histories. But these operations aren't just limited to Boston. They're taking place all over the country. Bill Malugin is getting an exclusive look at this massive, important operation in the sanctuary city of Boston. Live now to Bill.
Well, Emily, we've heard officials here in Boston and in Massachusetts say repeatedly they are not going to cooperate with ICE or mass deportation efforts by the Trump administration. And ICE says, well, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to cooperate with us. We're still going to go into your city and we're going to do the job. And we were with ICE Boston yesterday for about 10 hours as we got to watch them firsthand carry out immigration enforcement. Take a look.
Good morning, everyone.
It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston, where this team of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got movement, target vehicle coming out.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti. One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer.
that person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
Today was a good day. Today we took several significant public safety threats out of our communities. Unfortunately, a lot were released by sanctuary policies, but we're here to tell the Commonwealth and the rest of the country that we're going to find them whether they're released or not.
And guys, a quick note on some of the blurring we did in that story. We decided to hide the faces of the ICE officers, obviously, because a lot of them work undercover. We also blurred some of the faces of the suspects if their cases are still pending, if they've been arrested but haven't been convicted yet. We also learned after we were done filming that ICE picked up another target on the other side of the city. This was a previously deported Honduran illegal alien who was arrested locally and is facing charges for raping a woman while holding a gun in her mouth, guys. Those are the kind of targets ICE is picking up out here.
So y'all already hear about all the deportation and what's going on. Some people fear that he's just starting off with the criminals, but he's going to come back and get the rest of the people. That's what everybody has been saying. I don't think that he's going to just stop. He have said it already that he's starting off with the criminals, but he's going back to get all the legal people. So shout out to First Post because they are the ones that keep me up with all this information, and I go look it up. This is where I get a lot of my news information from, besides Sipping with TT. I want to talk more about this Trump's birthright citizenship order blocked, and there's something else I wanted to talk about. Oh yes, Trump freezes gender neutral passport. So it's getting real out here. It is getting real. I'm gonna play these videos for you from First Post. Make sure you go subscribe or save a video because they talk about everything.
Where President Donald Trump faces his first roadblock after a judge blocked his executive order ending birthright citizenship in the United States. Judge John Kofenauer, a federal justice in Seattle, has called the presidential executive order blatantly unconstitutional. This comes after at least 24 Democratic states sued to block the order, citing that it violates the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Now, the 14th Amendment states that all persons born or naturalized on U.S. soil are subject to the jurisdiction thereof and are citizens of the United States. However, President Trump is attempting to upend black letter law by providing citizenship only to children born in the country where one parent is already a citizen or a green card holder. For now, the executive order has been blocked temporarily, with Democrats calling this move by the White House a violation of the rights that are guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution.
We are thrilled that the court saw the seriousness and the urgency of the complaints and requests for a temporary restraining order brought by the state of Washington, Oregon, Arizona, and Illinois, and are thrilled that the judge issued a temporary restraining order directing the United States government to take no further action in enforcing and implementing the unconstitutional and un-American executive order attempting to eliminate birthright citizenship in America. This is step one, but to hear the judge from the bench say that in his 40 years as a judge, he has never seen something so blatantly unconstitutional sets the tone for the seriousness of this effort.
The temporary block does have a nationwide impact and will be applicable for at least 14 days, preventing federal agencies from implementing or enforcing the executive order.
Well, as we laid out today, so we moved for a temporary restraining order, which has a nationwide impact. The next step will be a preliminary injunction, which will allow for more thorough briefing. The TRO that was issued today has a 14-day effective date. So for 14 days, the United States government can take no further action implementing or enforcing this order. Well, we will be back in court, as will many other people across the country.
Meanwhile, President Trump said he will appeal the decision by the Seattle judge.
Thank you, Mr. President, a U.S. judge temporarily blocks the birthright citizenship order. Do you have any reaction?
No, obviously we'll appeal it. They put it before a certain judge in Seattle, I guess, right? And there's no surprises with that judge.
Now, as the battle over birthright citizenship heats up, the Republicans have introduced legislation in Congress that will codify President Trump's birthright executive order into law. It looks like this is just the beginning of a legal battle that could only be settled by the Supreme Court.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies.
President Donald Trump's controversial policies have been hitting the LGBTQ community very, very hard. In fact, on Thursday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio reportedly issued a directive ordering his staff to halt all passport applications with the X sex marker. Americans who don't identify as either male or female use this marker on federal documents for the past 3 years. However, with the Trump administration now only recognizing male and female genders, it seems like the existence of the gender-neutral sex marker has come to an end. Here's more from Foggy Bottom.
I, Donald John Trump.
U.S. President Donald Trump's return to the White House is nothing short of a nightmare for the transgender community. Day by day, his administration is rolling out measures to crack down on the rights of transgenders and snatch away their identity. On Thursday, Trump's Secretary of State Marco Rubio reportedly ordered his staff to halt all passport applications in the U.S. which have X written where they're supposed to mention their sex. The marker signals that the person does not identify as either male or female. Now, any applicant seeking to change their sex marker will not be entertained as well. But that's not all. Rubio also directed his staff to use sex instead of gender on federal documents, including passports, visas, global entry cards, and consular report of birth abroad documents. Rubio's order concluded that an individual's sex is not changeable, forcing trans people to use the marker they were assigned at birth. The directive changing millions of lives comes after the inauguration of the new president, where he said the U.S. government will officially recognize only two genders, that is, male and female.
This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Trump also signed an executive order on the first day of his presidency narrowing down gender identity and imposing biological classification on people who do not want to be perceived like that anymore. Meanwhile, it is unclear that what will happen to the current passports which already have an X marker. But what's clear is that Trump's executive order is dismantling former President Joe Biden's efforts to be more inclusive of America's gender identification. The State Department began issuing the X marker on passports in 2022 after a long legal battle by Dana Zim, a non-binary and intersex U.S. Navy veteran, who sued the government over the gender-neutral marker issue back in 2015.
On Transgender Day of Visibility today, the United States affirms that transgender rights are human rights. We celebrate the achievements and resilience of transgender, non-binary, gender-conforming persons around the world. We recognize their bravery and their hard-fought work for equality, inclusion, and the full recognition of their human rights. We celebrate the diverse expressions of gender and full diversity of gender identities around the world. We also want to highlight, as the Secretary announced in a statement earlier today, the historic milestone the Department has reached in its work to better serve all U.S. citizens regardless of their gender identity. Starting on April 11th, U.S. citizens will be able to select an X as their gender marker on their U.S. passport application, and the option will become available for other forms of documentation next year.
Till now, Americans were not required to match their marker with their gender on citizenship documents, photo IDs, or medical documentation. However, with Trump coming to power again, Biden's fast-moving progressive gender policies have been put into reverse gear.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversy.
I know it's a lot to take in, but yeah, shout out to First Post. Like, I'm letting you know, there's more. There is more. The reason why I got in on want to talk about this because a lot of people have been talking about this everywhere. People are calling this Project 2025. That's the name that they call this. That's the name that they started on social media. But call it whatever you want. It's going down. Okay. So you can sit here and say that he's only deporting just illegal people, just the people who's committing crimes. But I show you the proof. He's trying to also send back the babies as well. The babies who are here born illegally, they're trying to send them back home as well. It's blocked for now, but I'm just letting y'all guys be aware of this, okay? So there were a bunch of celebrities that were performing at the inauguration, and it was some crypto ball, and we're gonna first talk about the inauguration, which is Nelly, Rod Wave, and other black male celebs line up for Trump inauguration festivities received cold reception from Black Twitter. This is Yahoo Entertainment. So down here it says Rod Wave and Kodak Black performing for Trump on MLK Day, which that's what I'm gonna be talking about a little bit more. Coon. Child. It said y'all gave Kristen Michelle hell for performing at Trump's first inauguration. I hope to see the same energy for Snoop Dogg, Nelly, and Rick Ross. Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Soulja Boy, and Rick Ross are all supporting Donald Trump. Surely the culture would treat them the same way they tried to treat Drake by accusing him of being a Trump supporter with no proof, right? I had to unfollow Nelly, Ashanti, and Snoop all in one day. I don't support people who are participate in or support Donald Trump in any way. Snoop, Rick Ross, and Nelly performing for Trump. Ooh wee! Look what that money make a bit do. This is what I'm saying. They're doing it for the money. Gotta pay the bills because the money ain't moneying, right? Okay, who out here buying these songs? Not me. So I think Nelly came back and he said he did a clap back. So let me play this for you guys. It, and it was on credit goes to Willie D Live. That's who it was. That's a YouTuber.
Something I ain't never got, man, but I really want to cuss right now, but I'm going to go and salute you on it.
You damn sure deserve it. I appreciate that.
Grammy Award winning Nelly is in the building, man. Nelly, man, hey, King, it's good to talk to you. It's good to chop it up with you, man.
You too, my brother. You too.
Say, man, I knew that we was going to be talking soon, but I didn't know we was going to be talking about this.
Yeah.
Yes. So, man, when I hear people talking about performing at Trump's inauguration, you know, I'm hearing all types of things, and then next thing you know, somebody say Nelly performing, and I say hell no, I say hell no. Picked up the phone, say man, but don't do it, reconsider, you know. And you told me something that was very interesting. And at first, the conversation for me was I just wanted to know what you was thinking. But after you explained what your position, man, you know, I had to fall back a little, you know, because all of us have different experiences and we all do things according to our experiences and, you know, how we move. The way Nelly do something might be different from the way Willie D do something, but that don't make Nelly a bad person. That don't make Willie D a bad person, right?
Not at all. I think that's what democracy is, right? That's what we're supposed to have, the option of choices, right? So what we do is we tend to sometimes make a quick, I would say, response to something that on the surface may seem like it's effed up because we don't agree with something else. Like I told you, I said, OG, I'm not political. I'm not out here trying to tell anybody who they should vote for. You know what I'm saying? This is not a campaign trail. This is not, me telling you, yo, you should vote for this candidate or you should vote for this candidate. I think you should do your homework and figure out what best helps you and the people who you love and who you provide for, and you know how that runs. Because I'm clueless on a lot of things when it get down to it. You know what I mean? Like they start putting 2 and 3 things. You think you voting for one thing and come to find out you was voting for 2 or 3 things. So I would feel messed up in my head if I told some brother or some sister, yo, you should vote for this. This is going to help Black businesses. But in that, at the same time, I didn't know that voting for that would take away from your Medicaid. And then that's what directly would have affected you. Then now I feel effed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I didn't know that. So what I tend to say is, yo, do your own homework and make your own decisions about it. But what I will say is that I respect the office. This isn't politics. The politics for me, it's over. He won. He's the president. He's the commander-in-chief of what I would like to say is the best country in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know if a lot of people know that, but I know everybody knows I'm from St. Louis. Everybody knows St. Louis is what made me. That's what I wear on my chest and my heart. But I was born on a military base in Austin. My father served. My grandfather served, my uncle served, my auntie served, my cousins served. I've entertained the troops all around this world. I've entertained the troops. Ain't no money in that. That's something that I felt I had to do because I was one of those kids on those military bases. You see what I'm saying? Far be it at a young age, but I was there. I know what that meant to them families that have been away from for home for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, sometimes could be 10 year plus, dependent. And here we get a chance to go out here and bring a little bit of home to these people. And I mean, long story short, I know like if these people, the military means a lot to me, right? If these people these are people that enlist, these people give their lives. They give everything that they have so that we can have these choices, so that we can have these freedoms. And here's the kicker. They do it no matter who is in office. People act like the men and women of our military don't get a chance to vote. They get a chance to vote too. Sometimes they candidate don't win, but who's ever in office, if they push the button, they got to go. They got to go.
What does the military have to do with the inauguration?
That means if these people can give their life for the office, Nelly can perform. If these people can give their life for the office out of respect, they give their life for the love of this country. I love this country as well. It is an honor for me to perform for the president of the United States, regardless of who is in office. If President Biden would have asked me to perform, I would have performed. If Vice President Kamala Harris would have won and asked me to perform, I would have performed. I did a thing with Vice President Kamala Harris. Could have been last year, a year or two ago, a Juneteenth event. I respect the office. It wasn't politics. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was an honor for me to do it.
Considering the backlash that you've received for agreeing to this performance, right?
But I've been getting backlash. I've been getting backlash my whole career.
But this particular backlash is different. Right. How do you reconcile your artistic choices with the diverse political beliefs of your fan base?
That's my fan base. If my fan base really have a political belief, right? Here's the thing. Like, I agree in family first. I believe in family first. Period. Family before politics, family above and beyond. Like, right? Like, so now we don't always seem like we're making those choices sometimes when when we grow up the way that we grow up. Sometimes when we in the hoods and we're doing certain things, it's like, no, you're not putting your family first when you out there hustling, or you're not really putting your family first. Like, we can rationalize that and say that we are. But really we're not, because we're taking certain choices. But in our hearts, we truly believe that. So in this type of situation, if my fans are so, if politics is above and beyond anything other than what that person stands for, what that person has done, then I apologize that I, quote unquote, let you down, because I thought you was riding with me for the scholarships that I've been giving away since I've been in this.
All right, so that video is almost like I think almost like an hour long. It's like 50 minutes. If you want to go watch it, it's on Willie D Live. I'll put the link down to this article down below. This is by Independent. You hear from what he had to say. Now we're gonna go on to we're talking about Snoop. So we're going on to Snoop. It says, what if in some strange timeline the OG Snoop could see the jigaboo ad Snoop performing for Trump, and roast the F of his Uncle Tom ad for doing it. So he's talking about the OG Snoop Dogg versus the one now, because a lot of people say that, Snoop, he's a sellout. I agree. He does, but that's just our opinion. I didn't hear any clap back for him, but I'm just letting you see what people are saying. And the next person is Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy was very upset about people, talking about him performing at the crypto ball performance. This was not the inauguration. I had no clue about this. But yeah, so let me play something for you. His response back was not as nice as Nelly. At least Nelly clapback was a little bit now. I don't want to say Nelly was a clapback. I say that was more of like a response. But let me play this for you guys.
Nigga, they pay me a bag, nigga. Obama ain't never put no money in my fucking pockets, nigga. Kamala ain't never put no money in my motherfucking pockets, nigga. Trump put money in my pockets, nigga. Motherfuckers that trying to say something about me performing at the crypto ball party. Did Kamala call my fucking phone? Did Obama call my motherfucking phone? Did any of you niggas call my motherfucking phone? Oh, God, nigga. The fuck you mean, nigga? I do what the fuck I want, nigga. Trump called my phone, nigga. It wasn't even a Trump event. Trump wasn't even there, nigga. Y'all so worried about he performed, him, Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross. Kamala, you ain't even win, bitch. Obama, you ain't called my fucking phone, nigga. Y'all suck my dick, nigga. Y'all want me to not answer the phone of the fucking president? Nigga, this nigga the president of the motherfucking United States, nigga. Nigga, Trump wasn't even there, nigga. It wasn't even a Trump event, nigga. It was the crypto ball for crypto, nigga. Nigga, y'all can suck my dick, nigga. Counsel me all day, nigga. Fuck y'all, nigga. Fuck y'all, nigga. On my mama, nigga, I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. Nigga, I do what the fuck I want to do, nigga. And I'll go again. Fuck you talking about.
Lord have mercy. He done cuss out Kamala Harris. Shut these people out here. I'm at a loss with words with Soulja Boy. At a loss. He's always crashing out. Every time I look, he's always crashing out. This ain't nothing new. He be alright. But I have to agree with this sociologist Ray, this YouTuber. Be sure to go check him out. I'm gonna play his video for you guys so you can hear it. These celebrities, like I try to tell y'all, these celebrities, when it comes to money, when it comes to money, this is what they do, y'all. They're gonna go and get the money. They're gonna go get that bag. They don't care. They really don't care about all this DEI talk and deportation. They're not worrying about, who you, and I'm talking about the people who was born here, who was born here and their parents were illegal aliens, illegal immigrants. They have to worry about being deported, even though they didn't commit no crime. They don't care about all this stuff, okay? They only care about money, because let's face it, we're not buying anything that these celebrities are doing. We don't care about what these celebrities are doing. So their best bet is to go on ahead and just go and perform, like somebody say, like a coon, for Trump. And let me tell you something. Y'all can vote for whoever you want. I'm not telling you shouldn't vote for Trump. I'm not telling you shouldn't vote for. I already told you. Please don't come here and say that on my channel. That you're on one sided. I'm not one sided at all. I'm just talking about these celebrities because they flip flop so much, and we saw that with Sexy Red. She was for Donald Trump. Then the next thing you know, she was for Kamala Harris. So they flip flop. So let me play this video for you guys. It's a Trump and black celebrity.
Sociologist right here. I'm sitting up here thinking about black entertainers, rappers performing at events for said president. especially after some of those individuals had a whole lot to say 8 to 10 years ago when the new president ran for office the first time.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? I'll be the one that performs for himself.
About noon, just thought that I had to be in Compton.
First, people are trying to make sense of what happened. Why would people do that? Well, I think it's a couple of reasons. Sociologically, there's a framework that talks about individualistic orientations to community and collective orientations to community. Collective orientations to community is one of the things that Black people in America have oftentimes been able to count on. That is a level of allegiance to the Black community, suggesting that people will make decisions not just thinking about themselves, but primarily thinking about the collective and the group. Conversely, individual orientation suggests that individuals are oftentimes making decisions solely for their benefit. And I think that that's part of what we're seeing. And I think it's always been that way. I think for too long, we have made assumptions that simply because there is a Black or brown face in a high place, that means that they have a collectivist orientation. And oftentimes they don't. Frequently, they have gotten to that place by being very individualistic. Very individualistic. And that doesn't mean that both things can't be true. Like, people can have collectivist orientations and then also do things that are for their individual good. But in situations like this, we have a conflict where it comes together. And some of these individuals have told us what they think.
Mama ain't never put no money in my pockets, nigga. Kamala ain't never put no money in my pockets, nigga. Trump put money in my pockets, nigga. And I'll go again. Fuck you talking about.
Now, why would we see a change from 8 years ago to today? Well, it could be people's politics have changed. People's orientations change. People grow, they change, they regress, they progress, all of everything in between. Could also be the people making deals behind closed doors that are supposedly on your behalf, but do not include you. And whenever that's happening, whenever people are making decisions for you without consulting you, and it does not have your best interests at heart, you have to be weary of those individuals. And I think for too long, we've been placing an emphasis on these celebrities because they're successful and they make it seem like that they have a lot of money. Some of them do, some of them might not. And accordingly, when we do that, we then allow people who do not have our best interests at heart to take our collective orientations and use them for their individual good.
I mean, he said it better than me. I had to play it for him. Please go check him out. That's Sociologist Ray. He's a YouTuber. Go check him out. This is what people do. I just said it about Sexy Red. She flip-flopped. She was for Donald Trump, and then the next thing you know, she was for Kamala Harris. They do this all the time. It's whatever suits them. It's whatever suits them as an individual. They're not really talking about everybody in general. That's why I'm saying, well, all these people who are crying, because I've seen people crying about being deported, and people are upset about the DEI online. People are upset when new laws are coming in. You know, you got these same people here who flip-flop. Snoop Dogg is one of them. That's why they call him a sellout. Flip-flop. They call him Coons, Uncle Toms. What more can you say? Speaking of Sexy Red, let's talk about her and somebody else. So let me tell you what happened with Sexy Red. Okay, we're going to read this article. It's from Neighborhood Talk. Sexy Red apologizes to Bernice King for a disrespectful photo of Martin Luther King. So we're going to go back. That's the one right there. Okay? Said Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter, Bernice King, responds to Sexy Red posting all AI-generated photo of her with MLK. This is intentionally disrespectful, dishonoring, deplorable, and disrespectful to my family and my father, and please delete. Family and father who is not here to respond for himself because he was assassinated for working for your civil and human rights and to end war and poverty, please delete. So she said it down here too as well. So be a king. So this is Bernice King. She's speaking out again. Says, please don't project your thoughts onto me. I don't believe Sexy Red to be a degenerate, ghetto, or trash. I've spoken out in the past about the use of comparison to either of my parents to degenerate other people. I just don't understand this type of use of my father's image on hashtag MLK Day, no less, in a way that does not convey what we know to be true about his service and sacrifice. Even if you disagree with him or with his tactics or even believe things said about him by people who are hated, why do this? So she came back and apologized and said, "You ain't wrong. Never meant to disrespect your family. My apologies. Just reposted something I saw that I thought was innocent." How do you think this picture was innocent? I'm looking at it. You're in a club. What is this? And you're. It's like you're about to touch him. Y'all holding hands. Somebody here, Jay, whatever. This is why I said be careful of certain influencers you follow. He's a comedian. Right at the top, he said she did the right thing. This was very respectful exchange on both sides. Proud, sexy, much respect. Sexy did the right thing by apologizing. I love how everybody's saying she did the right thing. Why she shouldn't have posted at all to begin with. The only reason why she apologized because she probably got some backlash for it. That's probably why. But okay, yeah, she apologized, I guess. But look what somebody else posts. Look what Tokyo Tony said after the response from Bernie's King.
Come on now. It's not that serious. He's not Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Somebody, Martin Luther King calls out Sexy Red after she shared an AI generated photo of her with Martin Luther King Jr. It is intentionally distasteful, dishonoring, deplorable, and disrespectful to my family. Martin Luther King birthday be boring. She's just trying to have a little fun. It's not like your mother is alive. Girl, your daddy was fucking this. And your daddy went and got himself smoked after being told shit was gonna happen. Half of y'all don't know your father. He's gone. Over 50 years.
If y'all want to go hear the rest of it, it's on Neighborhood Talk. They're the one that posted. You'll see the big afro with the pink. You couldn't miss her now, Tokyo. I thought this was very disrespectful. I will say, at least Sexy Red did came back and apologize, but this is disrespectful. And you see what I'm saying? You got to be careful who. I was just mentioning earlier. You got to be careful who you are following as an influencer and everything like that, because she's trying to stay irrelevant. That's all it is. She wants to jump in on this, hoping that Bernice will come and talk to her. She'd probably show her no attention at all. It says, "I wonder is people posting on this platform black? If so, what's your motive? Why even post some ish like this? Y'all keep laughing. It's funny till it's not. Our rights are being taken away. Stay focused." And this is what I'm saying. Some people are getting it, some people are not. And then it says, "When did we allow this to become acceptable? I know it's funny to laugh at Tokyo Tony, but to disrespect someone who came before you and fought for you and your rights is crazy." Yeah, she even said that it was boring. She said, "Oh, MLK birthday is boring." So what do you want? You want to shake your booty or something? You want to go to the strip club? Because that's what y'all because that's what how y'all want to turn up, and it. In this fool here, it says, "Oops, fans call out comedian Carlos Miller attempt after he posted a Photoshop picture of him and MLK Jr. after Bernice King called out Sexy Red for sharing altered pictures. Don't let Bernice see this one." I mean, trying to be funny. I mean, somebody said, "I'm terrified the rich CEO who gonna run the company on site." And said, "Me either. I unfollowed him years ago. I don't blink with Carlos no more. He took it too far. I hope this helps. Carlos is too old to be so ignorant. When was the last time you saw a comedian offended by some ish? Why do comedians think they're excluded from going too far?" So people weren't having it. Somebody said trying to be funny, but it's actually very distasteful when we're already being taken as a joke as a community. I agree. People already look at black people as a community as a joke. And you got some black people who are trying to, be respectful, be mindful of others. And this is why I said these celebrities don't care. They don't care. These influencers, they don't really care what's going on. They until it comes to their front door, that's when they think about it. So let me know what y'all think of the deportation, the DEI being revoked, and these crazy behind celebrities and these influencers with their viewpoint on political views and how the way pretty much people are calling them coons, people calling them Uncle Toms. Let me know what you think down below in the comment area. But as for now, I should see y'all later. Peace.
Fendi and Adana, Karen, they be sharing all their money, got me wearing fly. Girl, but I ain't asking. They say they love my ass and 7 G's to religion. I say no, but they keep giving, so I keep on taking. And no, I ain't taking. We can keep on taking. I keep on demonstrating my love, my love, my love, my love. You love my lady lumps, my hump, my hump, my hump. My humps, they got you.